Hello and welcome to the February 2023 Code Adam training. It may not be February 2023 when you are listening to this training, but this is when I'm recording it, so that's what I'm saying. My name is Laura. I am the head of youth services, and I am here to share with you the wonderful Code Adam training. Let's get right into it. So let's see if I can advance my slide. Yes, I can. So for those of you who aren't familiar with this, a little bit of background. The Code Adam is a strictly defined national procedure for building employees to follow when someone reports a lost or missing child. This could be any type of building. It could be a large store, it could be a library, it could be an arena. Basically, the point of this is to have a strictly defined procedure of steps of things that staff does when someone reports a lost or missing child. It is for two purposes. The first purpose, of course, is to look for the missing child. The second purpose, which is equally important, is to seal off building exits in the crucial moments following the suspected loss or suspected abduction of a child. I will pause and point out here, we hope 100% of the time that we are not calling a Code Adam for a real abduction, but we always want to act like it is a worst case scenario because putting in the effort to find the child is always preferable. Okay, here we go. Pop quiz, what is the HPL Safe Child Policy? Since I can't see you and I don't know who is watching this, I'm just gonna give you a second of wait time to think, do I know the HPL Safe Child Policy? Okay, your time's up. Here it is, the Safe Child Policy and Code Adam procedure. So basically, the point of this is to really check your knowledge. Do you know what the Safe Child procedure is at HPL? It's a little bit different than maybe other libraries that you've been to. So in our library, the only place where a child can be left unattended is the children's room. So if a child is unattended anywhere else in the library, staff should approach them to see if they need help. So that means if a child is clearly younger than a teen, then you can approach them and let them know that, hey, in this library, the only place where kids can be without their grown-ups is in the children's room. So why don't you head back down there and you can walk them back down there. Now, another question you may have is there a minimum age that a child can be left alone in the children's room? There is not, because as we see it here at HPL, that's a choice that the grown-ups or the parents or the caregivers are making. That is not a choice we make as a library. And also, how would you ever enforce that? Some 8-year-olds look a certain way, other 8-year-olds look a different way. It would be an impossible task. So that's what you need to know about that. And obviously, as I've been stating, in the case of a missing child, we follow the Code Adam procedure. Here we go. All right. Here is what happens when we call a Code Adam. I will also let you know that these steps are stored in two places. So if you can't retain all this information right now, do not stress. First of all, the steps are at every service desk. They're all printed out and ready there for you on the clipboard. And they also are in your mailbox. So on your key fob, there is a little key fob size steps thing. Ah, there they are. Woo! Of steps that you can follow during a Code Adam, depending on your role within the library. So I just want you, basically, you'll find all this out later, but what I'm saying right now is don't stress. Don't worry if you can't remember all this off the top of your head. Okay, so back to the as I fuss with my lanyard. Okay, back to the steps of the Code Adam. Number 1, get a description of the missing child. It doesn't matter what your role is in the library. If you are a page, if you are an assistant director, if you are a librarian trainee, if this is your first day here working at the Henrietta Public Library, this is still a totally important thing for you to do. So somebody comes up to you, they say, oh my gosh, my child is missing. First thing you're going to do is get a description of their child. That could include their name, age, hair, eye color, approximate height and weight. If the grown-up can remember what type of clothing the child is wearing, absolutely. So get that description. The next thing that you're going to want to do is page code Adam on the PA system. The way to do that is you go to any of the desks, at any of the reference desks, the circulation desks, any of the desks, the desks where staff sit, the black phones. Pick it up, dial 1005, and call a code Adam. This is how you would do it. You would say, staff, we are calling a code Adam. We are looking for a 6-year-old girl with dark brown hair. She is wearing pink pants and a pink shirt, and her name is Lizzie. She's about 3'5". And just to clarify, all right, so that's what an announcement should sound like. Just to clarify, you may mention the child's name. People have asked questions about that in the past, so I just wanted to mention that piece. So after hearing code Adam, all employees should begin looking for the child, but we do it in a very strict procedure. So you don't just run around and start looking. We have assigned tasks, so I'm going to go over those right now. The tasks are these. So if you're working at a circulation desk, so if you're at circ, and this procedure is designed to work with the minimum staffing requirements. So just so you know, no matter what, we will always have the staff here at HPL to staff a code Adam. So circulation desk. One circ staff member will monitor the main entrance, so the doors that lead out into the parking lot. If you are this person, also poke your head out of the doors. Look around the parking lot. We have automatic doors, and children are fast. So look out in the parking lot and make sure that they're not out there. That will be doing their grown-up a huge service too, because we all know that unattended children in parking lots, that can be disastrous. So keep that in mind when you're monitoring the main entrance. One circulation staff member will monitor the children's room exit onto the patio. So same thing, basically you go to those 2 doors on either side of the building. That's the 2 circ people. Everybody else, so all other circ staff and clerks, will meet at the bottom of the big staircase right in the atrium, and you're going to meet up with the children's room librarian, who's going to be assigning you some searching tasks. Now, if you have questions about like, hey, I work circ, and so if I were here and I was going to a door, what do I do when I'm at the door? Hold that question. I will get to it in a second. Don't worry, you will not be. We will prep you with the words to say. Okay, but keep that in your brain for now. So that's what circ, desk, and clerk does. Now, if you're a page, your duties have changed since the last iteration of the code Adam. So get ready. All right. So pages, go directly to the story time room to ensure that the room is empty and locked. If the room is occupied, evacuate it. Hi, we're looking for a missing child. So I'm going to ask that we evacuate this room right now. Hopefully you'll be able to get back in here and we're able to find the child ASAP. But for now, we ask that you please leave the room. So here's where it gets to be information heavy. There are a couple of scenarios that could take place. So as you're a page, if there were people in the room, you evacuate it. If there is more than 1 page in the building, and you are also a page and you notice that another page has gotten to the storytime room first and already started this process, you can join the rest of the staff at the main staircase. But first, get visual confirmation that somebody is taking care of the storytime room. The reason why we are emphasizing the storytime room so much is because there is an emergency exit in there, and it's a really easy way to get out of the building. So please keep that in mind. Make sure that the storytime room has a staff member attending to it. So, other things to know about the storytime room. If it's before 1 p.m. on a weekday, the doors to the storytime room will be unlocked. So please monitor the storytime room's emergency exit by going into the storytime room and standing by the emergency exit. This is just to basically have this exit sealed off so that if somebody tries to get out, there is basically a person there monitoring the door. Now, you may have a lot of questions that result, like, what do I do if the bad person, or we could say the potential abductor, comes into the story time room? Don't worry, hold that question. Once again, I will arm you with all the words and knowledge that you need. But for right now, I really want to drive home pages to the storytime room. So if it's before 1 o'clock on a weekday, the doors to the room will be unlocked. Monitor the emergency exit in the storytime room by standing near that exit. If it is after 1 p.m. or on a weekend, the doors to the storytime room should be locked unless there's a really special circumstance. Confirm that that's the case, though. Please pull on the door. Don't just say, oh, it's after 1 o'clock, doors must be locked. No, please check them. So if the doors are locked, just ensure that both of the doors that lead into the storytime room are locked. If they are, join the rest of the staff at the staircase to help with the search. So basically, storytime room doors not locked, stand in the room and monitor that emergency exit. Storytime room doors locked, confirm that they're locked, and then go join the rest of the staff. Sound good? I should at this point say that I'm actually a real live person. I'm not just a voice in your computer. So if at any point you have a question about this, just let me know. You can come find me anytime you would like. All right. So the duties have also changed for the reference desk. And so I'm going to go into these. And once again, if you have questions, concerns, conundrums, anything with the letter C or any questions at all, come find me. I'm always here to help. So the reference desks, your duties have changed. Tech desk, your new job is going to be to monitor the emergency stairwell emergency exit that is closer to Wegmans. How are you going to do this? You are going to stand at the downstairs emergency exit on the bottom floor. We will keep the downstairs entrance to the emergency stairwell open. There's a door stopper in the emergency stairwell, so you can keep it propped that way and then monitor the exit by standing right there. RA desk, same exact thing, except you're on the other side of the building near the rec center. Okay, so we've got tech desk covered. We've got RA desk covered, but children's desk, oh man, do you have a whole nother suite of duties. So children's desk, report to the bottom of the main staircase, and you're gonna assign duties to all the staff members who gather down there. So the first thing you're going to do, and this is another change. So one of the things that I would recommend is if you're at the children's desk and there is a code atom that's called, we have the printout of the steps to do in case of what to do in case of a code atom. Bring that printout with you because it actually has a really good breakdown of all the jobs and duties that you need to assign. And in my case, I know that sometimes when I'm in a tense situation, I tend to forget some details or tend to just really need a little bit of help. So bring that clipboard with the actual steps of the code atom with you because it will help you. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to ask a staff member to check that the community room and mechanical room doors are secure. First, they should check the community room. If the room is in use, they should evacuate it and then use the master key. If you don't have a master key of your own, do not worry. There's a copy at the circulation desk. It looks like this. Someday I'll figure out Zoom and figure out the way that these. So this is the master key. You can lock the community room doors with that if people are inside and you evacuate them. Same thing what I said for the pages to say earlier. We're in the process of looking for a lost child. So we're going to clean or evacuate this room for a moment just so that we can secure all the library's exits. So after you finish with the community room, you're going to want to confirm that the door to the mechanical room is also secure. Now, you may not know where the mechanical room is, and that's okay. Go find it on a day when you're not in the middle of a code atom. The mechanical room is located in the children's room right next to the big tree. You'll see it. There are words on the door that say, I believe either staff only or mechanical room. I can't remember in the moment and I can't go check because I'm recording this video. So you're just going to have to trust me that that big door by the tree is the mechanical room. So ensure that it's locked. And actually the community room, it's important all the time, and I cannot emphasize this enough. If there is no one in the community room and you're just walking by it, it doesn't have to be during a code atom. It is any time that the library is open and there's no one in the community room, those doors need to be locked. Why, you may ask? It seems like a lot of work. because of situations like this, because the community room is a highly visible room and it has two emergency exits in it. So if the room is not in use, please lock the doors so that in a case like this, in a case of the code atom, that this potential abductor will not just be able to run right through an unlocked community room door right out through the emergency exit. If that doesn't make sense to you, please don't hesitate to ask me any questions about it. So that's the first assignment. Children's desk librarian, you're going to assign someone to check the community room and mechanical room. Second assignment is to assign someone to check the staff door in the delivery room and monitor that staff entrance. Now, you may say, well, how could anyone even get out that door? That whole area is fobbed. Believe me, it's better to be safe than sorry. So we are going to monitor that. So that's the case with the delivery room. And then any other remaining staff members, you can assign them to search other important designated areas like restrooms, the back room, storage rooms, study carrels, staff offices, community spaces, all in the bookcases. I'm sure we've all seen it, a little kid just climbing into the bottom shelf of a bookcase. These things happen. In fact, it's way more likely that that's the case than someone abducting the child. So we just want to do a really thorough search. Now, if the child's grown up, the caregiver of the missing child is out of sorts and needs to sit down and you have a staff member you can assign to sit with them, I would assign them to sit with the caregiver underneath the television in the atrium. Do you have to do that? No. If the child's caregiver wants to participate in the search, don't discourage them. That's not our job. Honestly, our job is to search the library and secure the exit. So you don't have to manage anyone's behavior beyond that. Okay. I will take a moment to pause and say, if you are a door monitor and you're watching the doors, but people are coming into and out of the building, right? So people may ask questions like, Laura, why can't you just lock the doors? We cannot lock the doors of a public building during the hours that we are open. That would cause a fire hazard. So we're not locking any doors to the library here, but we are standing there and basically just having a dialogue. The dialogue is this. We're looking for a lost child right now. We would appreciate if you could just stay here until we find the child. Now, this could fall on deaf ears if they are a potential abductor, but this is words that I'm arming you with. The other thing that I will say is that you can also ask anybody who is a little kid exiting the building, hey, we're looking for a missing child right now. Is this your grown-up? And they may or may not answer you, but these are all the words that you can use as people are exiting the building. Someone has asked me a question in the past, well, should we let people in the building? The National Code Atom procedure says nothing about that. So I would have to say, you can let them know we're looking for a missing child. So would you mind staying in the atrium for now? That is what I would say. So that was a lot of words that I just shared with you. Once again, please let me know if you have any question. We're going to get back to the steps, and then I'm actually going to talk about that a little more in a second. So Code Atom step 4, the children's room librarian, after you assign all those roles to staff, will call the police immediately. Do not hesitate. Never say, well, I don't want to bug them. They are going to be so much happier that we called them for a false alarm than decided that we could handle it by ourselves and have it be a true abduction situation. So call the police, have them come over. When they get here, if there is video surveillance available, connect with one of the assistant directors so you can find Jen, Alicia, you can find Adrian, you can find Olivia, or you can find me. All of us can help you with the bringing up the video surveillance that you're looking for when the police arrive. That's what you need to know about that. If the child is found and appears to be lost and unharmed, verify their identity. Lizzie, we've been looking for you. Oh my gosh, you're grown-up has been so worried. Reunite the child with their parent or guardian. If the child is found accompanied by someone other than a parent or legal guardian, and this is getting back to what I was just saying before, do not put yourself, the staff, or people around you at risk by by attempting any heroics. If you are fairly, certain that this is the abductor that you're seeing leaving with a child, do not approach them. Of course, as people are coming and leaving the building, I already gave you those words to say, but beyond that, they could be armed. They could be putting you in danger. They could be putting the child in danger. So do not attempt any heroics. Instead, be an observer. Call the police and provide a description of the person accompanying the child. If the person has left in a vehicle, try to obtain the vehicle description, license plate number, direction of travel. If you've got your phone on you, take a quick picture. It's as simple as that, but please do not engage with the individual beyond the words that we provided earlier. At this point, the incident is concluded. One way or another, we've either found the child or they have left the building. Those are the two things that could happen. So after one of those two things have happened, conclude the incident. Here's how you do it. The children's room librarian will announce Code Adam canceled on the PA system. And then the children's room librarian will complete an incident report. Even if it was just that a child was wandered into a hiding spot, we still do the incident report and then follow the procedures to distribute it to the library director and the staff. So, Code Adam, other stuff. See Hillary to update your badges. Now, if, as I mentioned before, I said a lot of these are already in your mailbox because we just did a big Code Adam overhaul. But if you're a new hire and it's not February 2023, Hillary will give you a little tiny card that you can stick in your badge holder. And no, does it talk about everything that I just talked about? I mean, you can't see this. I can't see this. I'm sitting right here and I can't see it. Long story short, it doesn't cover everything, but it gives you the steps to jog your memory in case of emergency. So this is a very handy thing to do. And from time to time, I will call Code Adam drills, kind of like a fire drill, in that you never know when it's going to come, but from time to time, I might say, this is a practice Code Adam, and then we will do a practice Code Adam. So really, if you're confused, if you're questioning, don't wait until we call a Code Adam drill or we call a real Code Adam. Just come find me. I will answer all your questions to the best of my ability. So thanks for sitting with me for this Code Adam training of February 2023. And I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Goodbye. And now I'm going to end the recording if I can find the button, which I can't. But I'm still going to keep talking, witty banter. Oh, found it.